Take a comfortable position, straight, clasp your hands, cross your legs, eyes closed. The purpose of today's meditation is to shed or drop our ego. Our ego is reducing us. Once our ego is dropped, we experience our expanded consciousness like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. We have forgotten that in this vast cosmos, where we don't know where is the beginning and where is the end, we as spiritual beings descended down on this planet Earth, on this plane of density, which is like a little mud ball in the cosmos, and we are not even a speck of dust. However, we have an individual identity, and we have taken this individual experience too seriously because of our ego, as if we are the beginning and the end of all. Our ego keeps us trapped in the surface level of reality. Our ego survives on identification and separation. Your identification with body, things, and forms. Once you drop your identification with temporary roles you play, you experience true freedom as you drop all resistance. Buddha said, wear your ego like a loose-fitting garment. The ego isn't wrong, it's just unconscious. When you observe it in you, it loses its intensity. The consciousness who is observing it is the real you. Buddha once said, seeing is freeing. Rumi said, be like melting snow. Wash yourself of yourself. You think you have a life, but the truth is you don't have a life. You are life. The one life, the one consciousness that pervades the entire universe and takes temporary forms to experience itself as a stone, a blade of grass, as an animal, a person, a star, or a galaxy. You are that divine consciousness. So the process of this meditation is simple and is a great way to move from your old self to a new self, as it takes a long time for an ego to change ego. We'll use surrender as a powerful tool to dissolve or burn our ego. So here we'll first start with brain coherence, which helps you to make your mind empty, lose your identity, drop all resistance, and raise your vibrations. And then we move to the second stage. Here you will hear few sacred mantras or sutras. Before the start of each sutra, I will explain the meaning of this sutra. As you hear these chants, feel the vibrations and essence of this sutra. Surrender any aspects of your limited self to connect with the greater self. As you surrender, you drop your identity and shed your ego. So I welcome you, dear friends, to participate in this powerful process. I hope you enjoy it. slowly shift your awareness to your nostrils. Take one deep breath in through your nostrils, and as you breathe out, relax. And one more slow, steady breath in, and as you exhale, let your whole body relax. Shift your awareness from the world around you to the world inside you. At this moment of time, nothing else exists but your breath. Just be with your breath. Normal, natural, simple, easy, relaxed breathing. This moment of time, completely drop your identity, your personality self, your ego, your analytical mind, which is the extension of your ego. Just drop it all. And become pure consciousness. Withdraw your attention from all people, places, things, time and event. And just be with your in-breath and out-breath. And as you observe each and every breath coming in and out of your nostrils, sense the temperature in your nostrils. Is it warm or is it cooler? Sense it. Are you breathing deep or shallow? Observe. Each and every breath is keenly observed. Let not a single breath slip by without your awareness. And now become pure consciousness, aware that you're aware in this endless vast field. Surrender any aspects of your limited self to join the greater self and lose yourself in nothing to become everything. Sacred chant is by Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya. Chidananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. It means I am that form of consciousness and bliss. I am that auspicious divine. Not the mind, the intellect, the ego, the conscious memory. I am not the ears, the tongue, the nose, nor the eyes. Nor am I the sky, the earth, the fire, or the wind. I am not what is known as a prana, nor the 5 vital breaths, nor am I the 7 body elements, nor the 5 koshas. I am not the motor organs of speech, handling or movement, nor the organs of excretion or procreation. I am not aversion or attachment, nor greed, nor delusion, nor am I the pride or the jealous feeling, nor am I the dharma, the artha, nor the kama or moksha. I am not the virtuous action, nor the vice, nor pleasure, nor sorrow. Nor the mantra, nor the pilgrimage, nor the Vedas, nor the sacrifices. I am not the food, nor the dish, nor the one who enjoys it. I am not death, nor fear, nor any class discrimination. I am not the father, nor the mother, not the birth. I am not a relative, nor a friend, not a guru, nor a disciple. I am beyond space-time. I am that formless form. I pervade in all and within all beings and in all sense organs. I am always in balance, nor liberated, neither in bondage. I am that form of consciousness and bliss. I am that auspicious divine. I am that.
Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Manobodhyam Karachitaninaam Nachashrodra Jive Nachagrana Netre Nachavyoma Bhumi Natedro Navayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Nacha Prana Sagno Nava Panchavayu Nava Saptadatu Nava Panchakosha Nawakpanipadam Nachapastapayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Namedveshanago Namelobamo Madoneva Meneva Matsarya Bhava Natharmo Nacharto Nakamo Namoksha Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Na punyam na papam na sakyam na dukkam Na mantro na tirtam na meda na yagna Aham bhojanam neva bhojam na bhokta Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda-rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara-rupo Vibhurvyapya sarvatra sarvendriyani Sadam me samadva namuktir nabandha Chidananda-rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. Chidananda-rupa Shivoham, Shivoham.
subject to the illusionaries of the world. Give up this sleep of delusion, this dream which confounds the mind. Why are you crying? You are pure. The name you have acquired is not yours, merely a mind-created fiction applied to you. The body is not yours, nor are you of it. The Lord of the universe doesn't cry either. The sound is an illusion attributed to you. The qualities imagined as yours are inherent in all the senses. The insignificant elements within the man acquire the condition of growth through the addiction of food, water and drink. It is not a growth nor a diminution of you. Within the body shell, you remain constant. Do not become confounded by this body which has been fastened upon you. The delusional man thinks that pain elevates pain. The delusional man thinks enjoyment or pleasures gives happiness. The intelligent man whose mind is free from confusion knows that pleasures and sorrows are alike. The carriage goes upon the earth. The body is seated in the carriage. The self resides within the body. The delusional jiva thinks, I am this body. The self has no attachment to his carriage. Foolish is such ignorance. You are pure consciousness and taintless.
शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि संसारमाया परिवर्जितोऽसि संसारस्वप्नं त्यज्य मोहनिद्रां मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रम् शुद्धोऽसि रेत्तातनतेऽस्ति नाम कृतं हि ते कल्पनयाधुनैव पञ्चात्मकं देहमिदं न तेऽस्ति नैवास्य त्वं रोदिषि कस्य हेतु न वा भवान् रोदिति विश्वजन्मा शब्दोऽयमायाद्यमहीशसूनुं विकल्प्यमाना विविधैर्गुणैस्ते गुणाश्च भवता सकलेन्द्रियेषु भूतानि भूतैः परिदुर्बलानि वृद्धिं समायान्ति यथेह पुंसः अन्नाम्बुपानादिभिरेव तस्मात् न तेऽसि वृद्धिर्न च तेऽस्ति हानि त्वं कञ्चुकेशीर्यमाणे निजोऽस्मिन् तस्मिन् देहे मूढतां मा व्रजेथा शुभाशुभैः कर्मभिर्देहमेतन् मदादिभिः कञ्चुकस्तेऽपि नद्धा तातेति किञ्चित् तनयेति किञ्चित् अम्बेति किञ्चित् धैतेति किञ्चित् ममेति किञ्चित् न ममेति किञ्चित् त्वं भूतसङ्घं बहुमालपेता दुःखानि दुःखोपशमाय भोगान् सुखाय जानाति विमूढचेता तान्येव दुःखानि पुनः सुखानि जानाति विद्वान् विमूढचेता यानं क्षितौ तत्र गतश्च देहो देहेऽपि चान्यः पुरुषो निविष्टः मम त्वमूर्व्यां न यथा तथास्मिन् देहेति मात्रं बत मूढतर्षा शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि संसारमाया परिवर्जितोऽसि संसारस्वप्नं त्यज्य मोहनिद्रां मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रम् मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रम् मदालसोल्लापनुवाच पुत्रम् शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि शुद्धोऽसि बुद्धोऽसि निरञ्जनोऽसि सा
शिव शिव बोलो शिव शंभो। बोलो शिव 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 बोलो शिव शंभो। शिव 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 बोलो शिव शंभो। बोलो 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 शिव 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 बोलो शिव शंभो।
Make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Oh, divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying that we are born into eternal life. Ah, this I say. To God, this I say. God is true throughout the ages. Nanak hosi sache. Trust the light that shines within. Of the sun, to God the Son, hai besant. Nanak hosi besant. Of the sun, to God the Son, hai besant. Nanak hosi besant. Ah, this sache.
Now,
To God this
Divine Mind, center yourself by placing your attention over your beautiful heart, your soul. Breathe in and breathe out from this sacred place. Embody the divine. As you breathe from the sacred center, you add more life to your heart with your attention. Open your heart. Feel immense love, immense joy, immense gratitude. Remember this feeling. Remember by heart. Breathe. Feel. smile and radiate your love into life. Breathe, feel, and receive the love from all of life. You can slowly bring your awareness back to your new consciousness, to your new heart, to your new body. In a whole new world, in a whole new time. Take your time, and whenever you're ready, you can gently rub both your hands and place it over your beautiful eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you may slowly open your eyes. Take your time and slowly come back, feeling blessed and blissful. Stay in this feeling and slowly come back. Thank you for spending these moments with me. My love and appreciation to you. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So Shreans, a quick break.
Yes, 3 minutes break and we meet again. Yes.
See you.
Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth begging us, please stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, to the spirits of the deep, begging us please stop listening to greed. She sent the drought to warn us, she sent the storms to scold us, but we don't listen. We burn and we break and we take and we take and we take till it's too late. Oh, where did the beasts go? Where did the trees go? Where will man go when he has lost the heart beat beneath his feet? Oh, this is our home. She gives us home, Mother Earth. Can you feel her heart beat beneath your feet? Heart beat beneath your feet. Heart beat beneath your feet. Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please stop listening to greed. Listen to the animals, listen to the trees, listen to the spirits of the earth, begging us please stop listening to greed. Listen to the rivers, listen to the sea, listen to the spirits of the deep, begging us please stop listening to greed.
Stop listening to greed. We're going to listen to you now. And friends, looking very forward as Shreans takes us through this journey of understanding ego traps. And see you on the other side of the session.
Yes, lovely. Thank you, Navki.
Thank you, Shreans.
Thank you, friends, for all your beautiful messages. Thank you so much. So today we're going to talk about the ego traps, especially in our spiritual journey. When we go through this journey, we feel a spiritual journey is all about losing our ego. But sometimes even in that, we get into a trap. Even that has its own traps, because ego somehow finds its own way. It finds its way to slip. Wherever it finds a little gap, it will slip into. And so we are going to understand what are these ego traps, especially in our spiritual journey, right? And today I'm going to cover this maybe for around 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then I'm going to show you one very interesting video, which around for 26 minutes, I'm going to tell you about that video which is before playing. So let's begin, friends. Yes, Keshav, slide. So what are those 11 ego traps that sabotage our spiritual growth, right? So I'm going to share one by one. So friends, so one of the greatest dangers on a spiritual path is that ego becomes spiritualized. Ego loves to think itself as spiritually evolved, because that is again one trap of ego. Ego always loves to it has to affirm itself. So even ego loves to think itself as it is very spiritually evolved. And it's just that another way that it manages to feel important and in control. No matter how spiritual, even if it's a spiritual journey, ego still wants to feel important, still wants to be in control. And that's why they call it, we call it enlightened ego. So it is very important to free yourself from an enlightened ego. So I'm going to share you one by one each trap. So the first trap is a trap of spiritual bypassing. So when you are in a spiritual journey, a lot of times what happens is when you are in a spiritual journey, a lot of times they say, oh, don't feel any negative emotion, don't feel any negative emotions, right? So as if there's a fear of negative emotion. And a lot of times we start numbing our emotions. Actually, negative, positive, all are on the two sides of the coin. If you forcefully try to do that, then you start even experiencing the positive emotions, the joy of life, the celebration of life. So here in spirituality, we usually what we need to do is to transcend our emotions, to transform our emotions. Sometimes in spirituality we have so much obsession to positive thinking, and we start wearing a nice mask. Oh, I am spiritual. People tell you, oh, you are spiritual, oh, you are a meditator, oh, you are a teacher. So we start wearing that nice mask. Even though some negative feelings are coming, but we pretend that it's not happening, and we suppress those feelings, we suppress those emotions. Then a lot of times we have weak personal boundaries. So weak personal boundaries is, a lot of times in spirituality we want to help others, right? We want to be good to others. We want to see how we can share our knowledge, our wisdom to others. But sometimes we get so engrossed in others, we forget, we don't draw our own boundaries. We forget, we don't even define our own time. And then in a bargain, sometimes we lose our connection with ourselves. We get lost in the process. We started the right way, but as we start having our personal boundaries, we get lost in the process. So sometimes even in spirituality, we need to keep our own boundaries. Anybody can come for any problem, any issue. Sometimes you don't let them solve their own problem. You don't allow them to solve their own problem. Only when they solve their own problem, when they will grow. You can guide them, but you can't do the push-ups for them. Then another is excessive tolerance of compassion or blind compassion. Somebody is going through some illness or something, some journey, and they know, and you know that they can heal themselves. They know the root, you know the root cause, but still you want to heal because of your love. I'm not saying the intent is bad, but then you don't allow them to deal with their own issues. In fact, in a way, you are retarding their own spiritual growth. Because they created it and they are experiencing it, so that it gives them an opportunity to learn and overcome. And now you give that support. So they don't know how to stand on their own feet. Sometimes in spirituality we experience exaggerated detachment. So spirituality does not mean where you in fact you will stop even taking your own responsibilities. Oh, I am spiritual, so I'm not connected with anything. Sometimes it becomes escapism from your responsibilities. A lot of times we get stuck in theoretical spirituality. So just because you know it, just because you have the information, does not mean that it has made you spiritual. Only when you really apply it in your life, only when you have transformed yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, only then the real transformation happens. Only when you applied it in your day-to-day life, how you face your challenges, only when it's reflected in your relationships. Otherwise, it's only theoretical spirituality. Sometimes in spirituality, we also deny self-responsibility by placing it on some higher being, as if you don't have to do anything. Oh, the spirit guide will do. The angels will take care of me. But God also helps those who help themselves. Sometimes in spirituality, you feel you go through a delusion of as if you have arrived at some higher level of being. You know, one experience we have and we feel, oh, we have arrived. I am at some higher level of being. So these are all the typical types of spiritual bypassing. In the name of spirituality, you bypass, or you are bypassing all the other responsibilities. So now I'm going to share with you a few more traps. One by one, yeah. The second is the trap of superiority. So the moment you become spiritual, you think I am superior to others. You start seeing everyone as if they are inferior to you, and this is a very subtle trap. It sneaks from the back door without any noise, and very subtly you form strong judgments towards others, very strong condemnations to others. That's why then you want everybody to make like you. But if we forget that everybody is going through their own journey. If you are a meditator, does not mean that everybody has to be a meditator. If you do yoga, you want everybody else to do yoga. If you are a vegan or vegetarian and anybody is non-vegetarian, you see it, you condemn them. If you read spiritual books, others read fiction books, you condemn them. If you don't have the need for any good car or anything, but anybody is having good car or any expensive car, now you look down at them. Stupid people, idiots. They are too lost in their materialistic world. Lot of spiritual teachers and gurus do that. Lot of religious gurus do that. They condemn others. They judge others. Lot of times we all do it. Just because we're in a spiritual path does not mean you judge others. Just because it does not mean you condemn others. So once you awaken, you will have no interest in judging those who sleep. That is true awakening. Because you honors everybody's journey. You respect everybody's journey. You accept and allow them to be where they are. The next trap is forcefully trying to wake up others. You think you have awakened, so now you are forcefully trying to wake up others. Within your family, within your friends, you share your knowledge, you share your wisdom, you share your ideas, give them inspiration, but don't push them. Don't try to make it do forcefully. That is again a spiritual trap. So in spirituality, we become super pushy. The thing is, when you have transformed, when you have changed, you just stay in your own, you remain in your own, with your own connection. Then as they see you transform, they will see it. Then they will aspire to become like you. They will be inspired, and then they will work on to achieve that. You don't need to push it. Or they may never work on to achieve that. It's their choice. Sometimes you don't really need to become a preacher if it is not required. Can't forcefully become a preacher. So another trap is the trap of wanting to help others. So again, similar to the earlier one, this is we don't respect others' boundaries. We are even if no advice is wanted, we'll give unsolicited advice. Once you are into spirituality, you think you know everything. Every part of conversation you want to give your spiritual ideas, your spiritual fundas, unsolicited. Problem is not about giving advice. If it, give advice if it is solicited, but not when it is unsolicited. That means you are not respecting their boundaries. That means you are not respecting their choice. That means you are doing because you want to show that you are superior. You know it all. You understand it all. Another trap is trap of wanting to revolutionize the world. Once you are into, sometimes when you get into spirituality, you feel, or not just spirituality, any transformation. A lot of times we fight, join the fight against corruption, violence. We are just externally driven, forgetting our own internal our own internal revolution. And it is very common. It is very common in the early stages of awakening to have the impulse to want to save others and the world. However, as your consciousness expands, you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. Then you recognize that you change the world by changing yourself. The very act of changing yourself is an act of changing the world. So don't lose your own, don't make sure that you are changing yourself first. Sometimes, and especially as I told you, it happens in the early stages of awakening, where you want to revolutionize the whole world. And in that quest, we forget our own internal revolution. We lose connection with our own selves. And some people get lost in the whole way. Next is the trap of meaninglessness. So the trap of meaninglessness is once you are into spiritual journey, you sometimes tend to you tend to actually feel separated from the whole existence. It's a paradox. You feel you get into a depressive mindset. You find everything meaningless. I am life affirmative. Enjoy life, celebrate life, have fun in life. It's just that don't identify with it. Do with all awareness. Don't lose your inner connection. It does not mean you have to disregard things. Does not mean you have to discard things. Does not mean that you have to live in lack. So sometimes that is also a trap. Sannyasi means, actually it means detachment from things, or you don't identify with those, you don't look yourself, you don't find yourself in the things. You don't find happiness outside. Your happiness is already within you. But that does not mean you stop enjoying things, or you have to you have a fear of those things, as if there is something evil in that, as if materialistic world is evil. Actually, even materialistic world is spiritual. We all came from the same source, including all the materialistic things. So even they are spiritual. Things does not become bad on its own. It is the use which makes it good or bad. Money is not evil. It is the use of money which determines whether it is good or evil. How you use it. So same way, how you experiences the pleasures of life, the world of things, that determines whether it is good, right or wrong. But sometimes in spirituality we find meaninglessness in everything. Again, that is a trap. If it is coming, and also depends on where it is coming. If it is coming from the state of internal awakening, where you feel ki, okay, yeah, my happiness, I am already happy is within, and it's happening naturally, it's a different thing. But don't try to forcefully do things. Another trap is of avoiding everyday responsibilities. Once you think you're spiritual, you start living off the grid, as if you try to now discard or avoid day-to-day responsibilities. Don't take up those responsibilities. Oh, I am spiritual. I am meditating. Oh, I am going for this workshop. That does not mean you stop taking your responsibilities. Whoever you are, as a parent, as a bread earner, or whoever you are, or as a housewife, whatever you are in your family, both goes hand in hand. So there's a Zen saying, and in fact a lot of times people become spiritual to avoid responsibilities, to escape from the day-to-day world, to escape from day-to-day responsibilities. All of a sudden they'll go to some ashram and join some ashram. Because it's easy. You don't need to take responsibilities. But the real challenge, the real growth happens during in those states of those responsibilities. When you're going through challenges, when you're going through some contrasting situations, that is your true test of spirituality. That is when the real growth happens. So there's a Zen saying which says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So nothing changed. So remember to face day-to-day challenges for growth if you really want to grow. Then another trap is the trap of self-victimization. Again, it is like, you victimize yourself. Poor me. And it is like avoiding self-responsibilities. Blaming God for things sometimes. If nothing works for you, you blame God. And in the act of self-victimization, then you tend to become spiritual. So a lot of times spirituality does not mean spirituality is about self-empowerment. It's not about self-victimization. No matter how long you meditate, but you are still victimizing yourself. Sometimes you take karma as a reason for self-victimization. Oh, I am spiritual, so I believe in karma. Oh, so I must have done some past life bad karma. That's why I'm going through all this. So what to do? I have to go through sorrow. I have to go through grief. And you victimize yourself. That becomes the best excuse. Karma becomes the best excuse. And if karma can be an excuse, then nobody will become enlightenment ever. Because the way we've been taught, or the way religions have told us, oh, you have karma, karma, karma. So by the time you clean that karma, that does not mean you'll not create further new wrong karmas or bad karmas. You'll create new karmas. That means you'll never get enlightenment. Then how did Buddha got enlightenment? How did Mahavir got enlightenment? How did Jesus or Christ or Muhammad, how did they get enlightenment? The very fact that they got enlightenment is a proof that you can overcome that, you can transcend your karma. But then we tend to self-victimize ourselves. And as is your belief about yourself, as is whatever is, as you judge, you carry your own judgments, your own beliefs about yourself, about your own limitations. You define your limitations and then you live to it. If you fight for your limitations, you got to live it. So a lot of times, even in our spirituality, we fight for our limitations. Because our religion has told us, oh, no, this cannot happen in this lifetime. It's a Kali Yuga. It's a Kali Yuga going on. So we victimize ourselves. You have to do this many fasts. Only when you do so many fasts, then you will reach God. Only God will bless you only if you do fast. They created heaven and hell to punish you, to victimize you now. And even in that, you create a competition. So in some religions, they say that you have to really punish yourself. They even beat themselves so that they can get closer to God. The truth is, God never calibrates with human misery. So again, it's a trap. The next trap is the trap of savior complex. That is a trap of similar to superiority complex, but then what do? You start feeling a sense of specialness. You get a very inflated ego, self-importance. Oh, I'm spiritual. I am a leader of this cult, or I am a spiritual leader or a religious leader. Start wearing special clothing, special pose, special tika, creating a false aura around yourselves. Have so many disciples. The more disciples, the more followers. That means the better you are. Start creating competition. Even there you develop competition. Make sure that your following is more than some other spiritual teacher or the other religious guru. They create competition there also. How many temples I have built, how many temples the others have built, so that how many temples my name is there. So all this is again a trap. Even donation, when you give, you want your name in a big way. Even if you're fasting, oh, how many fasts the others are doing? Oh, I did 50 fast, I did 60 fast, 40 fast. Even there is a competition. It is not coming from the sense of connection. It is coming from the sense of ego. It's a false ego. The truth is 30 fast or 40 fast or 60 fast has nothing to do with your connection with God. Yes, fasting is good for your health. But after a point, fasting is bad for your body. Even you cannot meditate properly. So sometimes we lose the middle path. We stop applying our mind. Be scientific, have a scientific approach to spirituality. Then next is the trap of attachment. The trap of attachment is sometimes you go through so many mystical experiences. Now you want to chase the same experience again and again. Every time you meditate, once you had something, now you want to try. Now because you are trying to chase that experience, now you are attached to that experience. That the experience itself becomes now that itself becomes the bottleneck. That attachment has become the bottleneck. Because of that, now you're not able to really surrender or make your mind empty. That's why so many times I tell you not to just be a witness to your experiences. Don't try to analyze it too much. Be a witness to your dreams, because if you get good dreams and if you analyze it and if you give meaning to it, of course you'll be very happy. But if any day you get a bad dream, you'll feel very disheartened. You'll live in fear. And what happens when the fear will drive more things which is corresponding to those vibrations. So just be a witness. Have a mind that is open to all and attached to nothing. Sometimes when you get a mystical experience, now you tell so many people, or some psychic experience, you exaggerate and tell it to people, so that everybody knows, oh my God, what a meditator he is. So again, that is a trap of attachment. Then the last is the trap of relying on external answers. So friends, in spiritual journey, what is most important is, after a point, once you know the path, then you have to find your own answer. Connect to your inner being, connect to your heart, connect to yourself. That's what intuition is. That's what insight is. You will find your inner guidance. Your heart will guide you. You don't need to depend on any guru or any god. You are God yourself. Your breath is your guru. Sometimes people do one workshop to another, from one workshop to another. What is more important is the application. Just by doing workshops is not enough. How much you apply it in your life, that is most important. And you think that, oh, this workshop will give me some more answer, this will give me more answer, this will give me more answer. After a point, you will find your own answers within. That's why a lot of time people ask questions I don't want to answer. Because you have to find your own answer within. Once you have the knowledge, once you have the wisdom, once you have the guidance, once you have a tool to connect to yourself, then find your own answer. You don't need personal guru. Sometimes all that you also become attached, bring even attachment with guru. Ananda was one of the most favorite disciple of Buddha. He could not get enlightenment until Buddha was alive, because he was so attached to Buddha. But after Buddha vacated his body, he realized his own attachment. And once he let go of that attachment, he became enlightened. Sometimes when we have a guru or some god, anybody praises, anybody criticizes your guru, you are ready to fight. You become upset. How can he or she talk about my guru like this? Again, that is your attachment, that is your trap. If he's a real guru, the guru will not bother. Somebody is talking good or bad, doesn't matter to him or her. But you get so angry or you get so upset. You're ready to fight. For your God, for your guru. We form a cult. So friends, again, there's a trap of relying on external answers. You don't need to rely on anything external. That does not mean you don't take guidance or read books or knowledge, but know that at the end, you have to learn to find your own answers. For every small thing, you can't run to your guru. Alright friends, so I'll end today's session. So Buddha said, wear your ego like loose fitting garment. Again, he didn't say ego is bad. He didn't say lose your ego. He said wear your ego like a loose fitting garment. We, in this three-dimensional reality, in this plane of demonstration, we need to have our ego. But it's just that the problem is not with the ego. The problem is we are unconscious of our ego. We are unaware of our ego. And in that unawareness, we identify with that. We become identified with that ego. But once you become conscious, anytime ego arises, it is important to change that thought. Once you are aware, then you are able to change that thought and release resistance at the very first indication of that emotion, of that negative emotion or that ego. And when you learn to release resistance at early subtle stages, that is when you start thriving. Thriving is what is natural to you. You are meant to thrive. Emotion in itself is not unhappiness. Only emotion plus an unhappy story is unhappiness. This is the equation. A lot of time people are, I have felt a negative emotion. Only when you attach a story with that, an unhappy story with that will give you unhappiness. Emotion is only an indication. It's okay to feel negative. It's fine, but identification with that pain, ordinary. It's not between you and him. I'll repeat.